72 in Garden City, 70 reported by Dodge City and Liberal, 72 over by the good folks of
Hello and welcome to the Demario Crosby Show. This is Season 3, Episode 5. In today's episode, we'll be talking about something that everyone has in common and can relate to. So, today's topic will be about relationships. Not just relationships with boyfriend, girlfriend, relationships with family, friends, things like that. So, why I chose this topic today is because, like I said, I think a lot of people can relate, and this is a very serious topic. I think a lot of people just need to hear about it. So I have brought one of my good old friends here today, and I think she'll be a really good fit to, give advice and just share some personal stories and talk about this topic. So let's bring out Bree. Bree, why don't you come on out? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. All right, so like I said, this is Bree for all of you that don't know and all of you that do know. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. When's the last time I saw you? Was about 3 years ago? 3 years ago.
It's been a while.
Shoot, you guys hear that? That's crazy.
It's been a long time.
So, like I said, I picked you for this topic because I think that you are the best fit for it. And I like to compliment, so first of all.
Thanks.
And I just think that this is going to be a good discussion today, so.
I'm excited.
Okay. So to start off, I'm going to start off with a slightly difficult question. Okay. Do you think relationships are important? And what I mean by that is that, like, some people have close relationships with family members or with a significant other. Do you think it's important to have those, like, certain relationships that you can either go to a person to talk to or just have different special people to talk to?
I do. I think it's really important to have someone to talk to, especially when you're needing someone to go and, express your feelings to. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to have those people around because instead of staying in your own head and having your own thoughts, I think it's important to go to someone else and explain everything that you've been feeling and hear something back. So get some advice and definitely take that advice with a grain of salt depending on who you ask and then move forward from that. So I do think it's very important to have relationships and close relationships at that.
Okay. I like that answer. That's pretty decent. I think it's important too just because, at the end of the day, like I say, in life hits you with surprises. You're not going to know what to do. Mm-hmm. And you'll just need to have someone else give you a different point of view because, like, if you're in a stressful situation, obviously you're stressed, so you're not thinking completely 100%, logical. So,
right.
But yeah. So my next question, do you think people that haven't had, like, an unconditional love, like, relationship with somebody, that they seem to crave it from other people? Or they seem to get very attachable to the person that they feel like that they have a connection that they never had before?
Definitely. In my own personal experiences, I feel like I've definitely latched onto people that I felt like I had unconditional love from and love with. And I think that it's just something that's instilled in everyone from being at a very young age. You, kind of experience that unconditional love from your parents. And grandparents and other family members. So when you grow up, you kind of look for the same thing in your friends and in people that you date. So I feel like if you've never had it and you finally experience it, you definitely latch onto it because it's something that you're used to and it's something that you've had from, growing up, from being little. And when you finally have that from someone else who's not in your family, I think it's a very precious thing. And everyone, some people can take it for granted. And I feel like as adults and as humans who live in a very open world with social media, we see other people in relationships and we tend to crave what someone else has. So when you finally get that, I feel like you definitely latch onto it, and it could be bad and it could be good.
Facts. I like that answer. I like that. I'm not even gonna go on that one because you killed it. So my third question. So this one's kind of personal. So here's the good stuff. What do you look for in a guy in a relationship?
Okay, so this is a good question. Something that I look for in a guy. Physical wise, I'm I've always been attracted to tall guys. That's something that people who know me definitely can tell you. Lately, I've been into guys who have tattoos and
bad boys.
Yeah, bad boys, definitely. I feel like every girl is into some guy that has some type of bad boy aspect about them. So definitely tall guys. I like guys that have brown eyes. I like guys that have brown hair. What else? Personality-wise, I definitely look for someone who can make me laugh.
Facts.
That is something that I love to do. Someone that I'm able to talk to, because everyone that knows me knows I love to talk. Always telling stories about something. You bring up a random topic, I got a story about it. So someone who can laugh, but also someone I can relate to on an emotional level. And I feel like that's something that you don't really find in a lot of people. So when I find that in a guy, it's definitely really attractive. I like people who can express their feelings, communicate, how they're feeling, what they've gone through. So past experiences, where they're headed with their future experiences.
Right.
So it's definitely someone I can relate to on an emotional level. Don't be afraid to cry once in a while. It's good. It's healthy. Some people don't like doing it, but it doesn't make you any less of a man if you cry.
Y'all hear that? For all the men out there, it doesn't make you less, bro. I cry.
I know Demario cries.
Not all the time though, so don't get it twisted, y'all.
Definitely someone who loves their mom too, though. I feel like that's something that I've left out. I'm definitely into the mama's boy type of guy.
Mama's boys, stand up, y'all.
Definitely into someone who loves their mom. I feel like with past experiences, I feel like I get more out of a guy that treats his mom really well. I feel like how you treat your mom is how you treat women in general. So if you treat your mom really well, I feel like you're going to treat the girl that you're with pretty well.
Y'all hear that? Treat your mama how you treat your woman, man. Treat your woman how you treat your mama, man.
Definitely. That's
Vice
a big
versa.
thing. That is a very big thing.
That's a good one. Okay. So, now, this question is, like I said, from different people's point of views, it's kind of different. So let's see what you think about it. Do you think family relationships are important? So what I mean by that is having a special cousin to go to, or brother, or a mom and dad you can talk to. Because sometimes some things you just can't, like, you want to, but you just don't talk to your parents about. So do you think having other family members to go to and stuff, do you think that's important for you personally?
I definitely do think it's really important for me personally. This past year I experienced a lot of life changes, and I was very grateful to have my wonderful, wonderful stepdad who I was able to talk to about everything and anything. So when it came to the relationship that I was in, when it came to my grandfather passing, I think it was really beneficial for me to have him around, because I was able to, speak and say whatever I felt like I needed to say, and not be judged when I said what I felt, and kind of bounce ideas off of him. So if I felt something and needed advice from him about something that I was going through, I could go to him and talk to him, and we can sit down like adults, and I could tell him everything and anything. So I feel like that's really important to have in your relationship. I do have cousins that I talk to all the time, that unfortunately our relationship kind of got a little bit fuzzy after my grandpa passed away. So that's something that I definitely need to work on, because I do think it's really important to not only have a parent to go to, but somebody outside of your parents. So someone that doesn't live in your house. So a cousin, a grandma, an aunt, or an uncle.
Right.
So that I feel like that's really important to have. This way, if it is something that's a little embarrassing and you don't want to talk to your parents about it, you have someone else to go and talk to, So cousins, I have cousins that are my age. They experience the same similar situations that I go through. Life changes, everyone's growing up, everyone's getting older, so we're all going through a lot of different difficult subjects and topics that we might not necessarily want to talk to our parents about. So I feel like that's really beneficial to have around. So I think taking a relationship for granted like that's in your family is definitely not a good idea, because that's something that you need. For me especially, I need that.
Facts. I hear that.
Especially when you have only, as you get older, you only have so many friends that you talk to.
Yeah.
And for me, I have 2 friends that I talk to every day that I've been best friends with since high school, and they're amazing. I love them to death. They're my sisters. They're part of my family. They're part of my life.
You want to shout them out, or?
Shout out to Brandy and Gina. But I think it's also really important to have someone who's in your family as well, because my best friends go through things all the time too that they might necessarily not want to talk to me about. So
yeah.
I think it's important to have someone that's in your family that's kind of going through the same things that you're going through. So for example, the loss of my grandpa. My best friends were awesome when it came to helping me cope and you know, being there for me for a shoulder to cry on. But I also think it was really beneficial that I had my cousins who were experiencing the same thing at the same exact time that I was, to go and talk to about it, and you know, get some help and get some advice and really, you know, have some one-on-one time with your family.
I like that. So
what about you, Demario? What about you?
Do I think family relationships?
Yeah. What's your take on it?
I mean, yeah, I think they're very important because, like I said, with everyone has a different like mindset or way they think about things or way they like take things. So like, if you come up and tell like your parents something, they're obviously going to come off a way that you probably don't want them to.
Yeah, they're gonna give you the advice
like,
as a parent.
As a parent, not
as
a
friend.
I have my own life, and you know, I go
yours.
through things and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely important because I mean, that's like I have a cousin, and we talk about it a lot, and we probably, you know, a lot of things we talk about we don't discuss with other people, you know. And it's like, you know, she asked me for advice and everything. She knows what I'm talking about. Destiny, shout out to you, and yeah, like it's just. Like I said, just having a bond with someone else is very important because, I mean, it's just a great feeling just to be able to go talk to somebody or to talk to multiple people that you have a special bond with that you trust, and to get different advices and then, like, collaborate on all of them and see what would be the best one, you know?
Yeah,
instead of
just express yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, that's what this show is about. And I didn't say it in the beginning again. This is the show to be yourself and express yourself. So we come up with these topics, and I think coming on here and just like talking and expressing yourself, it just, I mean, you probably don't know it, but it probably just makes you feel, you know, a lot better inside,
yeah,
and
no,
just like release
does.
some stuff, you know. So
Definitely does.
that's my take on it. So question number 5. What are some things you dislike about relationships?
Some things I dislike about relationships. So I'm going to use past experiences from my relationships that I've had. I definitely feel like the downfall, that was my own personal flaw, was becoming way too attached. So instead of looking for that relationship in my family, I've always had close relationships in my family, but instead of looking for that attachment within my family, I went and looked for it in the guy that I was dating or in the guys that I have dated. And I feel like in that process, I lost part of who I was. So I put that other person first always, and I never thought about things that I needed to do for myself before thinking about that. And I feel like that's something that no one should forget about, because at the end of the day, you are an individual outside of your relationship and in this world, and you need to create your own goals that you need to reach for yourself and make yourself happy at the same time. Sure, being in a relationship is great. Love being in relationships. It's great to have someone there for you all the time. But you need to not lose yourself in the same process, and I feel like that's always been my downfall in relationships that I've been in. So going from here on out, now that I know that, I need to focus on reaching my own goals and achieving my own goals that I have set for myself, and then worrying about that person as well, but making sure that I always still have myself in first place. So not saying that I want my boyfriend to not be in first place, but definitely having it be equal. So having time for myself is making time for myself as much as I'm making time for that other person.
You know, that was a real answer. That's like a lot of people needed to hear that. But since you brought that up, another question has arisen really quick. Do you think that, like, because there has been just a lot of like fathers just not around, like family wise. Do you think that plays a big part on girls when they are in relationships? Like they go more attachable to the boyfriend since they never had that like father like
I am
around?
really glad you asked this question because I feel like I've been waiting for someone to ask this question. This is something that I go around talking about all the time, especially with my best friend who was in the same similar situation that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So for everyone that knows me, or for some that don't know me, growing up, I had a stepdad. So my biological dad was never around. He was never in the picture. And it's, it's not like he didn't know my mom. He and my mom were in a relationship for a long time and then decided to have me. And it just didn't go as my mom planned.
Mm-hmm.
So my biological dad was never around. He was never in the picture, which I don't hold grudges for. But I definitely feel like from my own experiences and girls that I'm really close with that have also gone through the same similar situation where their dad isn't in the picture 24/7 have definitely agreed with me when I say that yes, it definitely makes a difference when your dad's not around and you find a boyfriend that you fall in love with and date for a long time. You definitely look for that kind of like father figure in a relationship. And it's a downfall because now you're not only looking up to that guy or girl for love and support, you're also looking up to them like, I need a parent's love and support because I didn't have my dad around. So I feel like that definitely put a strain on relationships that I've been in. So I'm really glad you asked that question because it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, because like I feel like no one has like asked. I haven't seen anyone ask that question like anywhere before, and like I feel like a lot of people go through that, but it's never talked about. So like
I feel like it's talked about amongst girls in relationships. Like I've talked to boyfriends that I've had about it, but at the same time, they can't really. Boys that I've dated can't really relate to it. You know what I mean? I mean, you have always had your dad in your life.
Love you, Dad.
But for people and guys that have not had their dad in their life, boys I feel like always have a strong relationship with their mom. So sure, guys look up to their dad like, you need to teach me how to use tools and how to work on a car and how to treat a woman. But at the same time, moms can teach you all the same things. You know what I mean?
Facts.
When it comes to a girl having the dad not in the picture, you get all that love and support from your mom, but you don't know how to be treated by a man. So I feel like that's where a lot of girls come to halt in their relationships because sure, you love this boy and you think he's giving you everything, but at the same time, is he really treating you how you should be treated?
Facts.
But did you really learn how you should be treated from another man? So I feel like anytime you have a mom and a dad, the dad's there to teach the daughter, like, don't fall for a guy or don't stay with a guy that doesn't treat you just as good as I'm treating you, if not better. He should treat you better than I have treated you.
Facts.
And that shouldn't be anything less than a queen or a princess, whatever your dad calls you.
Facts. My dad used to call me Prince. Slow. But yeah, I mean that was powerful. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna give you a fist bump on that one because that was real. And like I say, for all the guys out there, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I don't know that we haven't been taught how to treat a woman or whatever. But I think, like I say, even with your experience, we all learn from experience, and that's what I say. Like a lot of people not having fathers in their life and everything like that, I feel like experience kind of like backs that up, and just like even though like some experiences are like horrible and things go a different direction, but with that experience and you overcome that, you learn and become, a better person. I think growth is very important. But you guys know what time it is now. It is Ask Demario question time. So, like I say, I might answer, I might not. So we will see. Take it away.
Okay, so I have a question for you. I know in one of your relationships, your girlfriend's dad was not around all the time. As a guy being in a relationship like that, did you feel like your girlfriend reached out to you or looked up to you like you were that father figure in her life, and how did that make you feel?
That's tough.
Sorry.
Whew. All right. Okay. Yeah, I felt like that I was kind of like
playing
the
dad
boyfriend
role.
and also the dad. And like, not gonna lie, it makes you feel like more important, you know.
Needed.
But like, and like, when you love someone, you just want to do everything you can for them, you know. And like, if that's giving advice or talking to them about things, because in a relationship, it's, you know, it's you two. It's a relationship. It's not 3 people, 4 people. It's 2. So having that on me though, I kind of liked it because like it kind of like made me grow in a way to like, because I was young or the age I am now, but like giving advice and like talking through different things and everything like that. So I mean, it was a lot to deal with because especially when you're young and you're like thinking about that, you're like, I'm not nobody's dad, like you know. But it's like you gotta like, it's always like 2 or 3 ways you can look at things, and that's what like really interests me, and like looking at different ways instead of just seeing, you know, my point of view of this isn't my responsibility or this isn't my job, you know what I'm saying? But like I look at it from a different perspective, but this is the person that I'm with, so like, you know, if like it happens, you know. And I mean, if someone's like, if a dad's not around, that's a big hole in a person's like life, you know. And like it just happens. Like girls don't want it to happen, but it just happened. And like once you're in that position, it's kind of just like, I mean, it's not what I signed up for, but this is my significant other, so I'm gonna do whatever I can. So I kind of like, I like pressure. I like getting put in positions that's different than like the norm because, like I said, it makes me grow, and I like to always just think outside the box and think different from what everyone else would do. So I kind of liked it in a way.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just, like I said, it just makes me a better person. It makes me grow, and it gives me experience on how I will want to give advice to when I have kids or a daughter or a son, you know. And like, yeah, it's just, it's a great experience. But I mean, is it a lot? I mean, yeah, because I mean, you know, to fill a dad's shoes, those are some big shoes. I mean, well, technically big boots, but I mean, like, it's just.
Yeah, and you're talking about like however old your girlfriend is and however long her dad's been out of the picture. So you're talking about like years upon years. In my case, it's been almost 23 years. So I mean, those are some big boots, as you said, to fill. Like you're missing out on 23 years, and I don't think it's fair. But also, I don't think it's fair for guys to be put in that position. But at the same time, like you said earlier, it's not that girls want to or try to, it's just something that kind of happens subconsciously. And
I mean, like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, like me, I like helping people, I like giving back, I like just like doing anything I can just to like
help
get
someone
back
out.
to them. Yeah. Like, that's just, I just like doing it, you know. And like, I mean, at the end of the day, like that's I did. Like when any relationship you go through or any person you deal with, you learn something. So I mean, you know, so getting put in that position, I mean, like I say, I liked it because look who I am today.
I have a question, another question for you.
So
going off, that was a tough one. Going off of that though, did you feel like it made you feel any differently towards your significant other that you felt like you were put in that position?
Yes, made me feel very different, and it kind of didn't feel right at the, you know.
So it made you feel like in a bad different, not like a good different.
In a way, I was just like, whoa, wait, what did I get myself into right now, you know? And it's like, that's not even just like with relationship. I don't know, it's just like with just anyone, or just like giving advice to a person that's just like, it's like I said, everyone has a different point of view. And it's like, it's certain things that a dad teaches a woman, you know? And it's like different things, but like, so say if I know that information, but like you, it's not installed because you never like had that like relationship with that guy, you know. So it's just like, for me, it's like at first it should be looked upon as, oh, it's common sense, you should know that, but you have to like slow down and think like, well, first of all, we're all different. 2, I mean, everyone's raised different, everyone's brought up different, you know, and like have different circumstances and everything, and different experiences. So it's like I can't really just sit up here and just judge based off of what I think or my point of view. So I mean, I think it's pretty cool to like just think about all that, because I mean, like I say, for me, I had both my parents in my life and they're still together, happily married, and like a lot of people around me don't have that, you know. And like for me, like I'm always just happy for something. Well, now when I have my ball surgery, but like other than that, you know, like I just been like cool. I mean, there's times I get down and get stressed and everything like that, but like since I had both of those point of views and like my dad always making sure that I'm the best I can be and having that like just that guy that's just like pushing me, and that guy's that's the bro. Like that was my first bro. Shout out to Pops. And like it just having that, and then like just seeing that like a lot of other fathers aren't around, and my dad chose to stay. Yeah. You know, like I mean, he could have left. You know, could have, but he didn't. You know, and that's big kudos to him, and I look up to him for that. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I see how he treats my mom and how happy my mom is, and you know, like I mean, that's a role model right there, you know? Right. And like people need that in their lives, because if you don't see somebody else, or you don't get treated the way you think you should, then you don't know. You're just gonna, you know? Because you gotta learn it. So it's like learning it like that is kind of learning it secondhand instead of, you know, like firsthand with experiences and heartbreaks and crying and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty dope. Yeah. To answer your question, was that good?
That was good. That was a good answer.
Thank you guys. Follow me on YouTube. So.
I mean, stepdads do definitely play a big role. I'm very grateful.
And that's another thing. Like, think about them filling in that. Like, they have to come into. Big shoe to fill. They don't know how you're gonna act. You can literally, as soon as they get there, you're not my dad. Like, I mean, it's funny as fuck to hear. It's super funny.
Right, but it happens. It happens all the time.
Because like people don't want another person, and they don't. If they're not used to their relationship, why would they want to start now? Like in their head, it's, I've been fine without it. Why do I need it now? You know. And it's difficult. Shout out to all the stepdads out there that, you know, take that burden on, you know, because, I mean, I'm not even going to call it a burden, but...
Take that role on.
That responsibility.
That's a big role.
You have your kids, and then you also have their kids, you know, like, whatever. Yeah. Like, it's a lot to play, and then you have to play with... Because, I mean, obviously, if they were married and they got divorced, you still got to, you know, hear about those two talking and everything. So it's like... I mean, like I said, shout out to stepdads out there that... You know, step in these kids' lives and help out. And, you know, that's real shit right there. That's all I can say about that. So,
shout out to my dad.
Shout out.
No, definitely, I can definitely relate to that, because I feel like I had a stepdad who, you know, raised me, but I was never really as close with him as I am with my stepdad that I have now. That to me is my dad. That's the man that shows me, you know, how a woman should be treated, because he treats my mom like a queen. He treats me like a princess. He's great to all of his kids, but when he stepped into our lives, of course, me not having that relationship with the stepdad that I had beforehand, I was like, I don't want to say I pushed him away a little bit, but I did, because I was like, well, I have my mom. Why do I need someone to step into my life now? I was 20 years old, so why do I need a dad to jump in now? My dad was never there, you know? But he stuck by my side through all my moodiness, and definitely is one of the best step-parents out there.
Round of applause for him, you know? I mean...
But I think that's important, too, because you have relationships with your step-parents, and a lot of people have step-parents. It's more common than anyone thinks, and having those relationships with those people are very important, because they're around, they're married to your mom or your dad, and you know, they're there for you just as much as your biological parents are, if not more in some cases. In my case, my stepdad's there for me more than my biological dad ever was. And he's been in my life for 3-4 years now, so definitely has helped me out and showed me that men should come into your life and treat you the way you deserve to be treated. And it's important to have a good relationship with them. Like my stepdad, I can sit down and talk to my stepdad about anything. Anything and everything. We get into a fight and it's like, hey, let's sit down and talk like we're adults. And at the end of the day, we're fine. We like never get into a big fight. It's always, hey, I feel this type of way. You feel whatever type of way. All right, let's agree to work it out, and then we'll move on from there. So I feel like it's definitely important to have that relationship with that person. And it's important for your step-parent to realize that you're also an individual.
Facts.
And that they're taking on a big role, and to give you your personal space and let you voice how you feel.
Facts.
So.
That was good. Well, I answered those questions pretty good. She asked pretty good questions, so I think that was pretty good. So we're about to leave off. You got anything inspiring to say to people, or just some advice that you want them to just keep with women, males, anything? Just something they can just keep with them forever.
Definitely to reiterate, don't lose yourself while trying to build a relationship. That's a big one. And definitely value the relationships that you have with people and try to work on them. Always try to build them stronger, because at the end of the day, you never know what life's going to throw at you, and someone could be here today and gone tomorrow. So definitely build strong relationships, value them, don't take them for granted, but don't lose yourself in the same process.
Facts. Love it. You guys heard it here. This is Bree Patera, and I'm Demario Crosby, and we are out.